Northland.
Wow.
So much energy.
Yes.
Welcome to Anchorage.
Thank you for that. That was wonderful.
Some beautiful lovemaking of song that we just did.
Yeah, we're musicians.
Yeah. Too bad you guys missed it because we were all muted.
You got
We're musicians.
Yes, we are.
self-proclaimed. I feel scratchy.
Did you
There we
remember
go.
to mute? Did you remember to mute?
Yeah, I remember to
Oh,
mute.
yeah, she
All
did.
right, I muted.
I don't know why you're.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me get some. All right, try that.
All right. Well, hey,
Oh, there
everybody.
you go. Now
We're
you
doing
sound
it.
really good. Yeah,
All right.
What about me?
you sound wonderful.
Wonderful. My
You
favorite.
sound you have buttery smooth tones.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, you and your buttery smooth.
You got a
I
face for
prefer
radio?
velvet voice, but you know.
So, hi guys. How was your week? Stressful
Well, I'll
as crazy.
How much time you got?
Yeah, right.
I was not sick this week. I know I'm popping it in and out.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sunspots. Well, I was
Probably
not sick
sunspots.
either. In fact, I was just a glimmer of awesome help, and I'm wondering if I'm still broadcasting. But
Yeah, you are.
so I made it to work on time every
Wow.
day. Hooray for our side!
Oh my goodness.
I
That's
normally do
awesome.
make it to work on time, so that's not really an accomplishment. It's just stating facts. And well, I'm trying to do Phil here, so
You're good.
okay, yeah, awesome. Let's see what else happened. Cat took a nap.
Oh, we're
Pretty much
doing.
lasted all week. Oh yeah, murder mystery. I'm going to die and solve the murder.
Plug your mic and plug it back in. Alrighty. Sometimes the plugging it back in doesn't always work as well as the plugging it, unplugging it. And plugging
Right.
it back in, you're like, oh no. Okay, let's see how
All
that
right.
does.
So I can hear myself now.
Yeah.
Maybe I should
That's
talk
what
about
happens
my
when you
weekend.
buy used microphones off of Amazon. Sometimes you get good ones and sometimes
Hey,
you don't.
there's nothing wrong
But-
with used.
I think that's
I think I sound great
we're on
now.
it.
Yeah.
I think we're on it.
Okay. So yeah, it was a bit. We had a murder mystery rehearsal. Michael and I are
Yeah,
local
you guys
actors.
are doing that this weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna do it at the museum, and yeah, Michael's gonna have those parts, so he gets to really
Ooh.
expand his acting. You know, his
Really?
improv.
Those parts.
Those parts he plays
You have
a
two
detective
parts.
and Mr. Body. It's
Oh,
a
he
clue
plays a
game.
detective in another show too.
Yes. He does well with
Right.
that.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Now we haven't seen my performance tomorrow. I could,
Well,
yeah. totally like kick major butt on that one and over. And,
Well, yeah, I don't expect you to bomb or anything.
well, it will be when my body hits the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, let the body hit the floor.
Let the body.
hit the floor.
Luckily, I asked that we could do that off scene.
Yes.
So we'll just come around the corner and find my body on the floor instead of me having to drop to the ground in front of everyone.
Oh, you're not gonna like just
No.
flop down.
He's not going to fall down the
No.
stairs.
Yeah.
I want to see you flop.
Right.
I'm
But
not
he
gonna
does
be
get to go. So it's in the atrium at the museum. And
there.
Michael gets to be at the very top to look down on the atrium and say, "Welcome to my house. I'm Mr. Body." And then he's going to go behind him in the elevator down and then come out to us. So it's like he's addressing us from on high.
I should have a scepter.
No, this is current
Oh,
day.
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Rich people would have a scepter current day.
Well, so then I am working down our last couple of days till school. We got 3 more days to go till school is done. So today was the talent show. I was the MC, and all the kids did really, really great. Benji did awesome. He did 3 riddles, and the first one was, "What belongs to you, but your friends use it more?"
Bathroom? Oh no, probably not.
A soccer ball? What?
Your name.
Oh,
Fair enough. Okay.
I was like, I
Right.
like that one. The other one was
there
what
once
has
was a man from Nantucket. No,
No, see, Michael kept telling him bad jokes and things too.
No,
was
because
like,
the school's got
no.
wicked rules that they can't. I mean, the one I learned as a child, so I wouldn't think twice about teaching it to Benji. It's just apparently it's taboo to say it in school these days.
Yes, it is.
Ugh.
So the second riddle is, what can you never eat at breakfast?
lunch.
Dinner?
Yeah, there you go. Lunch and dinner.
All
That was
we're
funny.
We're not stupid.
No, that's stupid. Stupid is stupid.
Sixth grader,
dumb.
you say, huh?
Yeah, okay. We're not.
I
we're
know
not
what
really,
love
really
is,
stupid.
Jenny. The third one was, what has a face and hands?
Clock.
But yep.
Wow. Look at
Okay,
him
and
just
then
jump
so
in
then
there.
he did his last rules. So he and I not battered. We, what is it when you
Bantered?
on stage chatting?
banter.
Banter.
Get some
Benji and I were bantering
Okay.
on stage. It was really
Soliloquy.
nice. And so he would say the riddle. I would say it out loud so I could make sure that it was very clear. And then he'd go to the audience member and, get a suggestion. But then his last one was said, and what is the worst thing I can do to all of you right now? And then he goes into the auditorium, into the audience, and the music teacher plays the Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up. So he Rick rolls them.
Oh,
And so he just starts dancing, and all the kids are like, wow! It was awesome. I
that's
didn't take a
awesome.
picture or film it at all because I was singing, but it was awesome.
right.
And then I almost ruined the show. Oh gosh, there was so I called Benjamin's name to the front, right? And I was like, okay, Benjamin, come to the front, everybody, Benjamin. My Benji came up, and then another preschooler came up with the same name.
Oh,
So
Awkward.
yeah. So I had
yeah.
my Benji. Thanks.
Way to chime in.
Okay. So, anyways, I had this little guy on stage, and I was like, okay, hey, Benjamin, can you say ABC? And he was like, ABC? And I'm like, can you say 1, 2, 3? He's like, 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, everybody, Benjamin! Yeah! And so got that guy off the stage.
Yes.
And
That's
then
awesome.
got Benji on there. So that was really fun.
Yep.
You know, this is the end of their kindergarten year. Not the
My
beginning.
gosh. It was so funny though. I was like, oh, what do I do? Obviously, I know what to
Oh,
do. But, I could have been like, get off the stage.
Rookie.
Nope. You're an improv master.
I am.
You're a goddamn national treasure.
And there was this little girl who sang, and it was this lava song from a Pixar short. And it was an island song, and it had like 5 verses. I
Oh,
thought she was
wow.
going to do 1 or 2. So after the second verse, I'm like, okay, everybody, yay. And she looks at me, and I'm like, oh, sorry. So I go back. Then I'm like, yeah, no.
Oh, one of those moments.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh.
Like she was going for 5 verses, and I thought she was done at the end, like the end of second. She happens to also be a girl who it's hard for her to regulate her emotions. So the fact that I jumped into the middle of her song and told her, all right, take a bow, bye. She didn't freak out. She didn't scream or cry or try to hit me.
Mm-hmm.
She dealt with it really well. She kind of was like, huh? I'm in my happy place singing. So Jody was a fool, but I played it off
Mm-hmm.
because I am a fool. So did that. But it was a great show. Lots of love.
That's cool. No,
And
exactly.
We had our I know I have so many things to share. Today, the children, well, they think they've worked hard for this. They really haven't. They have not been on their best behavior. But it was still their party day. So we brought in the air fryer and the blender, and McDonald's had this milkshake in the summer called the Grimace Shake, and it was purple and it was
Okay.
supposed
I
to be
saw that.
celebrating
Yeah, yeah.
Grimace.
Right.
Right. So for some reason, TikTok or some social media made this campaign of like people saying, "What's really in the Grimace Shake? Is it poisonous? Is it made of Grimace?" So we decided to look up with the homemade, and it's vanilla ice cream, milk, and blueberries or strawberries and raspberries. That's it. It's a berry milkshake.
Oh, I got you.
It's quite lovely. And
So
so we
nothing-
made those today, put them in little cups, and I brought the air fryer in. We air fried, dino nuggies, and had an awesome party. It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was my week.
Awesome. I worked, but I did some prep. My weekend, I'm actually running in a 24-hour race this weekend.
How do you prep for that?
Is it a relay?
Yes, it is a team race. You can't, not everybody's going to run all the time,
All day, all night. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would not be good.
I was going to say, do you wear a diaper?
No.
Mm.
No, I've got like 6 hours basically. So this is my setup. This is actually on my YouTube channel too. This is my personal one. My AK Robbie, AKROBBY. So this will be me
For 6
Coming up
hours,
this
you're going to be
weekend,
driving.
not straight. So
Okay.
like I have one stint that's for like an hour at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And then my main ones start at like 9 o'clock at night. So basically I'll go for an hour, then I'll be off for an hour, then I'll go for an hour, then I'll be off for an hour. So I'll do that for a little while. But yeah,
That's so
over
cool.
and over and over again. This is a very long track. This track's like 13 miles long.
Is it in
In
France?
the computer. Germany, actually.
Oh.
See, it goes forever.
Do little children ever stop out or a cow?
No,
Okay, so it's not
No,
one of
no,
those
no.
like dodging ones.
it is not.
Okay.
Are there opponents' cars?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's so it depends on what. Yeah, there's hundreds of people that are going to sign up for this race, and
Wow.
there's 5 different classes of cars, I think, or 2,
Do you get
4
any money?
classes of cars. No, God,
Okay.
no.
Too
But
bad.
do you interact with their avatars, or is it just you, kind of like a time trial versus everyone else?
No. It's there. You can run into cars. They can run into you. You can crash the whole thing.
And what happens if you do crash? Are you done?
You have damage, and so you can. It depends on how bad the damage is.
Okay.
You can go get that damage fixed.
Does that cost money?
You got to. It costs time in the pit
Time.
lane. You got to sit in pit lane while the mechanics fix your car.
Oh.
Just like real NASCAR.
No, they've. I mean, they know what part of your car you damage. If you damage the front, if you blow the engine, that's like
Okay.
it's all relative. Like, I mean, a normal engine change, you'd be out of the race, but here
So
it's like a 40-minute fix, and then you go
Okay.
back. But that's a long time because people are still out there running the
Right.
thing.
Sure.
And
So if you say like bust a side fairing or whatnot, does the computer slow you down when you're driving because you're not as aerodynamic anymore?
Yes. If you bust it, say you've got damage, but it's not enough that you have to come in and fix it. It's not required to fix it, but it has damaged your aero in your car. It absolutely will take that into consideration, and you will have reduced speed on straights and just a reduced speed overall, basically.
Reduce
So,
control
yes,
turning and what
Yep.
have you.
absolutely. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you like, yeah, it's. I mean, all the cars are all the physics are there, all the mechanical stuff is there. They model the cars in a 3D world, so it's pretty close to
I'm a car modeled in a 3D world, and I am a 3D girl.
What does it say speeds you're
God.
going are?
Fast.
I don't know. I don't keep track of that. Let's
But
see.
I
Let me see.
was
Hang
just
on.
curious about how fast
I can tell
the
you.
world's flying past you. If it's supposed to be 103 miles an hour, You think the representation of the
Nope. Let's look. No, it's actually pretty. It's pretty spot
How fast
on.
have you got in a car, Michael? Or is it a motorcycle?
well, I think the motorcycle would have been fastest, but that Mustang I had in Hawaii was pretty darn fast.
Okay, so here you go.
I mean,
Here
I got a
is-
couple citations that
Naughty,
Here he is.
naughty.
So this is slowing down to 70 some miles an hour. Now we're back up to 120.
How do you anticipate turns? So I
And
mean, you have to,
then
but
You
anticipating the turns at a high speed.
just,
well, I think you're just doing it because they
Matt,
get right up
lap-
on you.
laps after lap after lap after lap after lap.
Are you playing with the brake and pedal, or are you just pushing
yeah.
on pedal?
Yeah, no. There's brake. You can see this up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's my right foot is the gas and my left foot is the brake pedal.
Okay. Press play.
So let's go back a little bit though. Back so you can see. Back another 10 seconds here or 5 seconds. You can see, yeah, is it coming up? Gas is full. Brake.
Okay.
Off the gas.
Are you
back
wearing
on the
sandals?
Yes.
Birkenstocks.
Nerd.
No, these are like Tevas or something.
No.
These actually have straps. And then we're back on the gas full. And then we're going to a straight. You kind of feathering the gas, and now we're on this big long straight. So we're getting
Gonna
up
push
to
the gas.
140. There's 150.
What are you looking at?
The horizon?
Probably the screen that's up above me. I was looking at the screen up above. I have multiple things going on.
Do you have to?
odd.
Do you know your teammates, or do you have to just
this is
trust that they're
no, this is
good?
absolutely this is. I don't. These guys actually, I've raced with like two of them.
Uh-huh.
So the other ones are fairly new to me because I've been kind of off for a while doing other things. I don't know. Haven't raced much. So, but this is my favorite track. So, but yeah, that was. I mean, see, it's pretty representative of the speed that's
Sure.
going
Yeah.
by. I mean, it really is.
It's a nice day.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Got voices that tell you how much fast you're going and how many laps you've done and all that fun stuff.
Does your body hurt after a while with the vibrations?
No, not really.
Well, that's good. You know, how, like some
Yeah.
power tools or something. You're like,
Yeah.
ugh.
No, exactly.
Like, oh.
No, and I've actually got little things on my, I got this aluminum rig and I got little things in there that actually do rattle. I mean, it shakes
right.
and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
Mm. Cool, fun boy toy.
Yes, it is. It very much is. I got into it during COVID.
Hmm. Which
COVID
makes sense.
chased
I
me
mean, that's
into
a
it.
fun communal
Mm-hmm.
solo game.
No, exactly. No, I met people from all over the world.
Yeah.
And, well, yeah, it's been fun.
Sounds like it.
Cool. Well, I've also this week I've been watching some of the Karen Reed, Massachusetts versus Karen Reed trial, and we have put together a little video. I guess you got to step away for a moment.
Yep.
All right. We have a.
I'm going to go on record as saying I'm not a fan of the judicial system in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I'm gonna we'll wait for Jody to come back so she could partake in a video with us too. But I agree. So this video is for folks that have been kind of following the trial. It's kind of like, but I just I've never seen. Usually when you charge someone with a crime and then you go to trial, the trial is usually about establishing the evidence that they committed the crime that you have charged them with, right?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Normally that's how it goes. You charge someone with a crime and then when you finally get to, you go through all of the things and you okay there?
No.
Oh, okay. So just So you're just going to have to wrap it all the way around. All the way around. All the way around. 360 degrees. Get it to the point you want it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah, that's usually the case is you charge somebody, you have a jury trial, and then you try and show the jury that you have the evidence that they created.
Well, the prosecutor, it's the prosecutor's time to show the jury, the people, that this person committed this infraction. And they're worded in such a way,
So
deprive this person of life and liberty by hitting him in the head with a rock or whatever,
Right.
and that's what you're being charged with. So that's what the prosecutor gets to show that you did, not really anything else, because they didn't bring that charge to trial.
Yeah.
Unless, Rob.
It's so this is kind of what I got out of this trial. This is what I've seen. I've watched it on enough. I've watched some other people like give some recaps of the trial, and this is kind of what I've gotten out of the trial so far. And
what if any, who, if anything, snow on any snow.
You never once heard her say, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
I hit him.
What if anything,
I hit him.
who, if anyone else,
I hit him.
I hit him.
what if anything, who, if anyone.
When your own witnesses are staring at you, the problem is your questions.
What if any observations, or what if anything did you know in regard to sort of tactile observations? What if anything?
What if any?
What if any?
What if anything? What if anything?
What if any? What if anything?
It was snowing heavily.
What if anything?
I was operating the leaf blower.
Who, if anyone?
Had you ever used a leaf blower in a crime scene preservation effort?
First time.
First time?
And he was there with the leaf blower.
Who is operating the leaf blower?
I am.
What
Like
if
that kind of
anything?
snow.
What if
That ain't
anything?
gonna
What
get
if any?
pushed by a leaf
Stop and
blower.
Shop. It says Stop and Shop.
Stop
Oop,
and
there
shop.
it is.
Plastic cups with the coagulated blood. 39.
Oh,
39.
Oh my God. You've got to be joking me.
39.
Look at that.
What if any? Who, if anyone?
what if any? What if any? Who, if anyone? I'm going to be saying that.
Have you ever used evidence tape before?
No,
Sure I have. I don't recall off the
Not
top
my
of
job.
my head.
he doesn't recall using evidence tape ever.
About 7 or 8 high tops, 4 or 5 low tops.
High tops and the low tops. There was a storm coming in, correct?
Interviewed at 5:30 p.m. on February 10th, correct?
Correct.
Where did that interview take place?
At my home in Canton.
Who
Not
was
at the
present for
station.
that interview?
Me, my husband, Trooper Proctor, and Trooper Bukaki.
Buchanan.
Trooper what now? Trooper what now?
Michael Proctor,
Bukaki.
Michael Proctor.
I was not ready for that.
What if anything?
Have butt dialed.
What if anything that had been piled up on your front lawn? What if anything was?
What, if anything,
The high top table.
And what if anything?
was butt dialed Mr. Higgins?
You started having adulty time, and then during that adulty time, you accidentally butt dialed Brian Higgins.
What if anything? What if anything did you observe?
Like a black blob.
I would guess it's the tailgate.
So you can't guess.
I can only assume it is.
So you can't assume.
I would assume Bud Lights, I guess. It might be guessing at the time. If I had to guess, I would say maybe half.
Objection. Is there a question?
Hey, Lolly, everyone's been real respectful of the objection, no speaking. So don't start popping off with this. Is there a question? Because, sir, have you met you? Let this defense attorney ask a question, Lolly. Nobody has interrupted you except for me when you can't hear me. No one has objected to you asking sort of kind of what, if anything, were you wearing when, who, if anyone, was driving, and where, if anywhere, they parked around the other apparatus that were present. No one cut you off. For 9 days, we have listened to you say what, if anything, hundreds of times. And now you have the audacity to say, is there a question? Sir, take all of the seats and give it a minute.
So that's, you kind of think, what's going on with that? But that's what I think a lot of the jurors are actually hearing in this trial, honestly.
Right.
Because you get to the point where all you're hearing is this guy say, what if anything, who if anyone,
You're
what
just
if
going to get
anything.
mad at it.
And
Everything.
Right. And then, I mean, just repeat it. And then some of so, this video is geared towards people who've been following the trial. If you've been following the trial, you know a lot of what's going on in this video. But there's some stuff in here like this. Like, this is on the morning of this supposedly happened, after they had taken John O'Keefe to the hospital. They had folks over there. The police were there, and it was snowing, so they wanted to try and find some evidence. So they went and they got a leaf blower, and they blew. Yeah, there it is.
First time.
Yeah. Michael, have you ever seen anybody use a leaf blower to try and find evidence?
Yes.
No. It's like even the archaeologist uses little brushes to brush the stuff away minimally.
Yep.
Right.
Tiny little brushes for a dinosaur.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they blow some stuff around and they find some blood, right? They say, okay, here's some blood evidence. So you would think they'd go get a sterile container or something, or some swabs.
No, red solo cups from the party.
So let's get swabs. No, one of the lieutenants across the street has some red solo cups.
I got some red solo cups.
And so they fish out the snow and blood and deposit them in red solo cups. And they ask, well, did you take pictures? Did you take any pictures of where you got the blood from? No.
That would make sense.
Did you mark, like, this cup has this blood in it
from this
thing?
location?
No. They did none of that. There are no pictures of the
Did you
crime
somehow
scene.
cap the cups?
Right.
So no one was trained, or they didn't follow training.
So they took this back to the police station, supposedly, put it in their fridge, in their temporary evidence, whatever that means. And
along with Becky's lunch.
Okay, so as I showed you earlier, I gotta show you a little more here. Let me pause this for a minute. So they collect this blood, they take it back to the police station,
Mm-hmm.
and then they put it in their fridge, supposedly.
And this is state.
No, this is the local guys.
Okay.
So this is the local guys.
I thought they were required to hand it over to state because it's one of their own.
They were. And then the picture that this is taken from is when they were supposedly handing it over to the state. However, I just want to show you, and I kind of showed Jody this earlier. And let me get there. Because Michael. But bear with me while I find this button. Okay, so I'm going to reshare here.
I don't have it.
I'm getting there. I'm trying to share here. There we go.
Did it ever
All
get
right.
marked into evidence?
So this is. So as we can see, this is the defendant's car in the garage. If I can get to it. Come on.
Let's start that.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Yawning.
Okay, so this is the defendant's car. It's parked in the garage, the Sally port. I know what a Sally port. Do you know what a Sally port is?
No, I thought it was a
Michael, explain a
girly
Sally port.
boy.
Sally port it's enclosed in the building. Say like the jail is a good example. You've got your bad guy in handcuffs in the back of your squad car. So you're going to drive actually into the building. You're going to shut the door behind you.
Oh.
And so that way, if the guy tries to make a break for it or whatever, getting out of there, there's nowhere for him to go. He's already locked in.
Makes sense.
And then the other door opens on the other side when it's time for the car to just continue on out. So it doesn't have to turn around or nothing.
Okay.
It's a super secure garage.
Super.
Yeah.
That's called a Sally port.
Okay.
Sally port.
Yep. So here's this car of the defendant, and it's sitting here, right? And it's
So it
sitting
looks
in the
like that
Sally port.
Portion of the
And there's
tail
this
light
little rag right here.
on the outside of the
And
trunk.
then we have this picture here with this rag, same rag.
It does, yes.
Right?
Okay.
Right next to the defendant's car.
See a shadow sort of looming over the top of the photo. You just said about evidence item 37. Does that
Would guess
And
it's
then
the
we go
tailgate.
Here.
Maybe the tailgate's up.
Tailgate. Oh, and so this part too.
I would say it was the tailgate. The tailgate.
So here he goes.
I would guess it's the tailgate.
So you can't guess.
So that's the judge. So while the defense is questioning somebody says something like, I guess, she jumps in there. There was no objection from the prosecutor.
Yeah, that's
There was
dirty
no
pool.
objection. She jumped in and said, you can't guess.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
It's,
Okay, she can do that, but you should do that every time somebody says it. You saw my examples at the end of the
Yes,
video
yeah.
where the other guy says, well, I would guess, I have to guess.
Yeah.
He said that multiple times through his entire testimony and not a peep from Miss
Mhm.
Judge. So we've
I
got
would say
this
it was
bag here.
bag in the middle of the photograph?
Yes.
Can you read what's
Stop
on
and
that bag?
shop.
Stop and shop.
Okay, that does not look like an evidence.
That's their evidence bag.
Are you going to tell me
I love Emily too.
That-
Emily D. Baker is she's a former prosecutor for
Ah.
LA. She was a LA prosecutor.
Uh-huh.
And she is a badass.
She kind of reminds me. She has Kamala vibes.
She's got 758,000 subscribers. So
Good job, Emily.
yeah, right. We've got 41.
so that bag holding the evidence, it's got so much cross contamination on it before they even
That's
put the
so
evidence in it.
correct.
we're trying
Yep,
to shop
exactly.
back?
Let's say you got some beef from the store.
Sure.
And and what happens with raw beef?
It
Yeah.
trips.
Yes.
Yep.
Is
And
that-
1,700 people have handled that bag.
Yeah. I
With
mean,
no
is that
gloves.
what's going?
essentially.
Is that
then the
what's
red
going
solo
to
cups.
happen next?
So she's
That-
incredulous here. She's like,
That can't be so.
I mean, this is a former prosecutor watching how this evidence
This
was
is not
handled.
this cannot be happening right now. This is not what's happening.
Mhm.
Correct.
All right?
It absolutely is.
Not a forensically stable item, correct?
Correct.
Certainly not sterile,
What?
Correct.
right?
Correct.
You know where that bag came from?
I do not.
Probably Stop and
Is that a
Shop.
bag that you supplied to Sergeant Lang?
I do not.
Next photograph, please.
I'm sorry if the Stop and Shop bag is sitting in the Sally port next to the defendant's vehicle.
Good question. Very good question.
Are the red
Yep.
solo cups still in it? Did it ever get marked into evidence?
Very, very good question. Very fair question.
Did it get refrigerated? What?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All these things are very, very valid questions.
Oh my God. You've got to be joking me, Emily.
So yeah, this is just one example of that. In Massachusetts, you are supposed to also, if you're a police officer and you do an interview with somebody, it is supposed to be recorded every single time. None of these are recorded. They're not even signed. The statements aren't even signed by the people that they took statements from.
What's up with their law enforcement?
Yeah.
And this is the department investigating one of their own staff members
Right.
homicide and his spouse as the defendant. This really should have been handed over to the state police that night.
Right.
It was actually, so John O'Keefe was a Boston PD and this is Canton PD. So
okay.
So it's
it is separate agency.
Right. And then one of the cops even testified that in his mind, he didn't even think he needed to hand it over to the state because it was only they handed over because of the appearance of a conflict of interest.
Yeah, that's why you do it.
He didn't think there was an actual conflict of interest.
Just for appearance.
No, it's an appearance of impropriety.
Now, the people whose house it happened at, the Alberts, is
in the Bukaki house.
He's also a Boston police officer. Okay.
A lot of cops.
So you got a guy that ends up dead on the lawn of another Boston police officer.
Yeah.
The brother of that person is a Canton police officer. So in the city there. So that's one of the reasons they handed it off. But the trooper, Proctor, who is not testified yet, who was in charge of the investigation, is good friends with the Albert family. His sister watches their kids, and it's so interconnected. It just seems so interconnected that, and so as more and more things come out, and the prosecution has done nothing so far to show how they have any evidence that he was run over by her. I mean, there's just nothing.
How do you think he died, Robbie? Do you have a thought?
Drunk in the snow and hit by a plow?
No, I don't. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know yet. I still want to hear more evidence. I mean, I think there's multiple things that could have happened. I think I want to hear more of what they actually have. I want to hear more testimony. I don't know. I don't think he was. I think he went inside that house. I honestly do.
Yeah.
I think he went inside that house, and I think something happened. And I think a few people know exactly what happened.
Is it a cover up?
And then I think a lot of people are just shutting their mouths, basically, and doing what they're told.
Wow.
Because they talk about it's this vast, conspiracy, right?
Right.
But when it boils down to it, it's like two families and like a couple other people.
But
so
the common Joe's never going to get this kind of off the hook, kind of buddy system.
They
We'll just
didn't
get
even
thrown in jail.
A lot of these people weren't even investigated, weren't even questioned until the FBI started poking around. And then the state police started questioning people. I mean, it's really, really weird.
It is.
It's
just
one of the oddest things I've ever seen. I mean, and then the just how inept the prosecutor is. He just can't. His own witnesses multiple times have had to ask him to rephrase questions because they don't know what he's saying.
Right. Now, I wonder if this guy's getting it. It's a sketch on Saturday Night Live going to be about him. You know what I mean? Like how infamous is this going to get?
I mean, you saw how many what if innings and what if anything and who if anyone. And I mean,
sorry, sir, we're closed. Yeah. Sorry, man.
Okay. Guess we didn't lock the door. We had
Benji's going in and out.
Come in and shop. Yeah, I know.
Hey, if he's buying.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still. I mean, they have to have something. They brought these charges. They have to have something that says that
Well,
this happened.
I think they don't want a cold case of one of their own.
Right.
So, and then but they don't have enough evidence to show that this was an accident. He was, told to leave the house and he stumbled away and fell asleep in the snow.
Right.
They don't have enough to show that either.
What's that?
Good thing I have good social skills.
Yeah.
What was it he wanted?
For an ATM.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we don't carry one here.
We don't carry ATMs
I
here.
sent him off to the bank and
Yes.
locked the door.
And,
Yes.
and scolded Benjamin.
Good call. Good call. Yeah.
I'm telling you, working at the elementary school has really given me really strong communication skills with our just local community. I don't have a problem talking with anyone
Mm-hmm.
as long as they feel safe. And if they don't, I will have a different voice.
Well, back to the conversation.
Yeah.
I know of one story where the Good Old Boy Network got a bunch of people off the hook for murder because the whole town just decided this dude needed dying.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
In Skidmore, Missouri.
Yep.
Roy Rex McElroy.
Okay.
He just terrorized this town from
Have you heard this before, Chody?
age of puberty.
I don't think so.
Go ahead.
And well, the Cliff Notes version is he was the town bully, and there was
What was his name?
Ken Rex McElroy of Skidmore, Missouri.
Yep.
And he was just a terror. A grocer caught one of his kids stealing and tried to, get her to drop the whatever item was that she had pocketed. And Roy, terrorizes the grocer and his family for, to no end with firearms. Even ends up shooting the guy in the neck at one point and gets the minimalist of time for it. And as soon as he's released that day, he's terrorizing the guy again. I mean, this guy is just a bruiser from the beginning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, one day the whole town got together because, they go to the law and the law doesn't solve the problem for them and nothing else works. So they all just decided then and there. And then several of them go up to meet him. He's at the town bar, getting his 2 PM drinking on. And they just kind of awkwardly stand around him.
Mhm.
He kind of reads the writing on the wall, grabs his wife's hand. Oh, let's go. We're leaving here. They get to his truck. They get in, and immediately someone grabs the wife, pulls her out, and all these rifles just start filling up the cab of this truck and filling him up.
Yep.
And then they all left. The police come, they got a body, they got a bunch of bullet holes and whatnot, and not one witness.
Right.
No one gave a statement. The FBI got involved. They're going to make somebody crack. No one cracked. For 40 years now, this has been a cold case. In a very small town.
81 is when that happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Kind of like the end of that movie, that classic movie called Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
I didn't see a thing.
But yeah, I mean, you would imagine someone at some point.
Right.
Not
Finally
if
say-
everyone
finally
hate, if
turn
not if
around
he
and
deserved
say-
it that much.
Yeah, if
and
that
people
whole
can
town was
sleep,
his victim.
they just forget
Mhm.
it. You know what I mean? If you can sleep after that, you'll just forget it.
Mhm.
You don't need to
Oh,
keep.
yeah, exactly.
It's like the only kind of confessions that you say on your deathbed are because you don't want to die
With that on your
without-
conscience.
Yeah, exactly. So something that
Right.
you don't care about, you ain't going to talk about it.
No, exactly.
I was like, I can think of a couple of people who I'm not going to miss.
On the morning of July 10, 81, several townspeople met with the sheriff at a local hall to discuss what could be done.
That should be
Sheriff
a
suggested
Kenny
they form a
Rogers
neighborhood
song.
watch and advise the group not to confront him.
Oh.
Meanwhile, McElroy and his wife were at the tavern for a morning drink. After the sheriff left town, the group walked from the hall, went down the street to the tavern. McElroy eventually left the tavern, got into his truck with his wife, but the mob of people followed the pair outside. According to reports, some 50 people were outside the tavern when the shooting started.
50.
McElroy was struck by 2 different firearms and died behind the wheel of his truck. Wife was not injured and escaped the vehicle. According to report, no one called an ambulance. Yeah, we'll wait.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
Look, yeah, 50 people, 2 weapons hit the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to practice, man.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly.
Local authorities,
Well,
including
there's probably some
court-
people that like participated but purposely missed.
Yeah.
Well, like 48 of them.
Yeah.
2 of them are really pissed.
Or they were just so afraid guns, hands shaking,
Yeah.
holding the gun.
Yeah, right.
Roy's wife named one person as a possible gunman, but no one could or would identify who fired the shots. She eventually filed a wrongful death against the town, county, and some citizens, but was settled out of court.
I'm kind of confused on this because I'm not. Was he a lovable man? Why?
Oh no,
Didn't
sorry.
they do you a favor?
Even the story of his wife was.
I can't imagine he was a
might as
sweet
well be
man to his
child
family.
abduction. Yeah, he wasn't.
No, he was
He's gonna
horrible.
beat them and hurt them, and
He R-worded a 12-year-old, and to avoid statutory R-word charges, he divorced his wife at the time and married the girl when she was 14,
yeah. So
pregnant and with their baby.
Oh my god.
He
Yeah.
burned down the girl's home and shot the family dog to force her parents to agree to the marriage. That's one way to convince.
Wow.
And he torched the house and did a dog again after the girl went into hiding to avoid him.
they got a
Oh
new family
my
dog.
God.
That's sad.
And pulled a shotgun on the farmer, Romaine Henry, and
So this man just doesn't think that the rules apply to him.
And they
No,
didn't.
Exactly.
His whole life he got away with this. That's not acceptable, people. You
Yeah,
gotta
nope,
stop
exactly.
bullies.
And he did do some time here and there, but he was just born with, he didn't want to. He wanted problems, is what he wanted.
Yeah.
Born with a piece of barbed wire in his mouth instead of a silver spoon, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
Up his butt or something, make him ornery.
No,
So,
crazy.
yeah, the whole town said,
Yep.
yeah, we're done with you.
Well, in Alaska, we had that one guy that's pretty much close to this. The tattooed up guy.
Oh, pirate?
Yeah, pirate. Nobody wants anywhere. And he's all just like really, really, really bad.
Well, that guy
You know
and
that
like
guy? I don't
Eyeball.
remember that guy. Was that
Oh,
the guy
he's
that had
dead now.
Oh,
had
is
the
he dead?
eyeball?
Well, that was Eyeball. That was Eyeball.
Okay. All right.
And he got into OK Corral shootout with APD on
that's
like
right.
yeah,
At the
downtown
hotel or
somewhere.
something,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I
Wasn't
didn't know. Okay, well, I honestly, again, I'm like, don't miss him.
Whereas
He-
Pirate just put himself in like permanent blackface with his tattoos.
Oh my god.
Eyeball just did like half his face, but
Yeah.
including his eye.
Well,
Right.
So like he looks like a demon, and then he acts like a demon,
And,
and
and his voice sounds like one too.
Yes. I think that shootout was at the Big Timber Motel.
Yeah.
I
well,
believe so.
okay, wow,
But high noon and everything.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
man.
I remember at his sentencing, the judge was saying, "You're going to be 70 when you get out of prison. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what you're going to do for yourself."
Right.
I mean, he's already made himself completely unemployable.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't hire that a telephone job,
Yeah.
Is he still? I mean, as far as we know, he's still alive in prison.
He's still alive in prison.
Oh, I thought you said he was dead.
No, Pirate's
that-
dead. Pirate's dead.
Eyeball's not dead.
Eyeball still was serving time.
Oh, these are two different
Oh, wow.
dudes.
Yeah, two different dudes. Yeah, like I said,
I thought
Pirate's the guy
Eyeball
that
was
like
the
he
guy that-
completely black-faced his
Okay.
face with the tattoos.
Okay, I got.
I mean, he's a
And
white boy, but
then-
it's all black now.
yeah. I
And
thought Eyeball got.
Eyeball
into a
was half his face.
Shootout. I thought he
Eyeball
got in
was
a
the shootout.
too.
Pirate was the guy that had his kidnapped girlfriend
Yeah.
duct taped to them while they slept
Yeah.
in some cabin north of Fairbanks.
And
Oh my
he
God,
got off
that's
on that
right.
because she died. She OD'd.
She died before she could testify against him.
Yeah, and so it was like
And they didn't have a witness.
she.
Oh my.
It was so sad. It was so sad. She got no
Yeah, no
justice.
kidding.
This man got away with it and did probably just as many horrible things that we don't know about. Also,
Ugh.
He went down to Portland, and weirdos of Portland said, "We don't want you here."
yeah,
Oh my God.
no one wanted him.
Ugh.
And I'm sure that feels terrible, but you kind of do make choices in your life.
You know, sometimes
That
you make
sets
the
you
wrong
up for these
choice,
things.
and yeah, you make the wrong choice, like painting your whole face black, and
Permanently.
Do a lot of
being a menace to
drugs.
society, then
Yeah. Don't be a menace to society,
don't
man.
be a menace to society.
So
Be a
bad
menace
you
to the
got to
man.
duct tape your girlfriend to you so she doesn't escape while you're sleeping.
She don't love you. And there's a reason.
Right?
That is not how you're going to get love.
All right. Let's
On that note, we got more.
on this,
We got
on
more.
this
Let's do a
happy
positive
note.
note.
On this happy note.
Has anyone
Did
ever
you-
heard all the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner?
Oh my God.
That was written by a lesbian.
They're not happy either.
So this is Houston last night.
Nice.
And
that
this is
smog?
what happens. Oh no.
Houston, Alaska's really grown up, hasn't they? They've
This
just
is-
ballooned.
This is 8 times
Climbing
speed,
down.
but this is like 6 in the evening.
Okay.
So basically they think it was a tornado or at least partially a tornado, but it's still daylight.
That's a big twister.
I don't see what I'm seeing. I'm seeing darkness.
You're just seeing
Oh.
darkness. It's still daylight.
Oh.
It's still supposed to be daylight.
Oh, that's scary.
This is how dark.
Yeah, 6:30
it
at night
got.
in the
Yeah,
summer.
Exactly. 6:30 in the summertime.
Oh,
This is how dark Houston got last night.
because of a tornado?
Solar flares?
No, this is a storm that went by there. As you can see, it brightened up a little bit there.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the camera's iris opened, but as you can see, this is like. Oh, and then there was the lasers. You saw some
Yeah.
lasers going
Oh,
by
yeah.
there. People are speculating it was actually HARP lasers or something. I don't know.
Is that China?
It could be China.
Oh, that could be kids playing with their lasers.
But yeah, so that's when you have let's see, I got another video here.
I never even looked up to see if there was solar stuff up here.
Oh, we were totally cloud covered.
Okay, because I was like, nobody really posted.
We didn't get it. Yeah, everybody else in the world got to see purple ass
Us.
northern lights. And well, let's here. Go on stream. Full screen. Come on. Let's see. There's some of the damage that happened.
He hates the cans. Stay away from the cans.
Ooh. That's pretty rough, right?
Oh, that's
there.
just shoddy craftsmanship.
A tornado.
It's a hole in the building.
Blew out all those windows, all the brown.
Yeah, look
my
at that.
God.
Look at all those windows that are gone in that skyscraper.
Wow, so Houston got some damage.
Yeah. So you ever wonder what it looks like if a twister hits a
City?
major city?
They had to have been able to confirm it was a tornado by now.
You know what? I haven't.
They got
seen-
meteorologists for this sort of thing.
Windows that are destroyed by the tornado.
It's pretty tornado-y. I mean,
Why would you still be driving? Why would you pull over?
You've never seen a tornado before. You don't know that you're supposed to.
and Houstonians just being there will drive through anything.
Oh.
Well,
And
that and tornado. It's not Kansas. You know they.
yeah,
They're
no,
supposed to
true.
go under an underpass, like
They're
if,
not-
if there is one.
They don't, I mean, how do you don't warn? I mean, it's 1 million plus people that are there. The tornado's in a very small area. So how
Yeah,
do you really
okay, okay.
warn people exactly where it is?
And
I mean,
they're not terribly predictable.
they're not terribly
they jump?
predictable. And then you've got to think of how small a geographical area that the actual tornado is affecting.
Okay.
Like, some
and the
people-
randomness of the course it takes.
the randomness of the course it takes, and then it's like this house will be fine in a block over.
Yeah.
Everything's great. So
Yeah.
I mean,
At least at
But-
derecho, you got a straight line you can draw.
but that looks pretty tornado-y
That
right
does
there. I
look
mean, that's
tornado-y.
I mean, it's high winds, but I don't know that's twister.
There's water.
Yeah, and that's all high wind. And I'm not saying high wind doesn't happen. It's a coastal city.
right. No, I know, I get it.
It's like, yeah, you've been to Houston lots, probably.
Yeah, it's a coastal city. It's marsh plains, so there's nothing to break up the wind either. It does look extreme. I'm not knocking that at all.
Did we
Right.
go to Houston?
What's that?
Did we go to Houston?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Remember,
some more. Look at all that. Look at all like this
That's
whole row.
so.
That whole row of windows is gone.
And
Wow.
hopefully there wasn't some poor bastard on the street catching the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I think there were a few fatalities.
Is that blood?
I thought it was like no.
Koi pond.
Oh, that was a whole bunch of windows too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They should have closed their windows. Storm's coming.
Well, you're supposed to open the window so you don't build up all the pressure. Is what I was
You know,
taught.
It must be a trigger thing, but the only thing I can think about when I see skyscrapers and windows blown out and everything, my mind jumps to 9/11 for some reason. Like to a very, really.
I agree.
But it's like it's still there in the back of my mind because our generation and anybody old enough to remember and everything, it's imprinted.
Yeah, it was a pretty traumatic event too. But when you see a spacecraft taking off, do you expect it to blow up like Challenger did?
No, I actually don't think I saw that. What year was that?
86.
86. So yeah. I was 6, 7. I was 7.
Yeah, I was in 5th grade. You'd have been in 1st.
So I was in the U.S.
Yeah.
Why don't I remember it?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, just every shuttle launch that was televised.
Because we all watched it.
Which was most of them at the time.
It's...
They'd bring the TV into the classroom and they'd watch it, and after about the 5th or 6th one, it was all kind of boring, same thing. All right, thing's upside down, flying upside down now. Oh, look at that! It's got the rocket's flown away. And then this one particular one in 86,
Yeah.
And then we didn't get launches for a while, but there's still in between the shuttle launches because we haven't had Challenger repeat, but there've been other satellites that they go up unmanned to deploy, and those rockets have failed. Or there's test rockets that they intentionally blow up after it goes off course or what have you.
Oh,
but we don't really get footage of those because it's somehow not as exciting.
Right. So, Michael's gone. Oh, you're gone too.
Oh.
I'm back.
All right, you guys are back. All right, we have an answer. Houston Metro, rocked by 100-mile-per-hour derecho that left 7 dead and 1 man without power. Now, they did say that in Cypress, which I guess is right outside of Houston, that there was a confirmed EF1 tornado that was confirmed near Cypress. So in the outskirts of Houston, there was a confirmed EF1 tornado, but the stuff downtown they're referring to as a derecho.
I've never heard that word before.
Right? Derecho's basically it's like a tornado, but it just goes in a straight line.
Correct.
I mean, you could take a ruler and draw just a straight line. It's going to follow it.
Yep.
And there's easy arguments worse on you than a tornado.
Wow.
If you lose your house either way, I don't know what we're weighing here, but
sure.
Well, so a couple things. We talked about the small geographical thing that a tornado takes up, right?
Yeah.
Depending on the size and the width and everything. But a derecho can cover a much bigger area of wind.
Why have I never heard that word before?
So,
a lot of times people use it synonymous with tornado, but there is a difference.
And it's a lot of times it happens in like desert areas
that I just have never been in.
It's
Oklahoma's heard of them.
It's not a common thing. It's really not a common thing. It's very much
I've only lived like Alabama and Florida. But I mean, Florida would have it. Alabama
and Florida would have their tornadoes with their hurricanes.
Right.
And if you're in southern Alabama, especially coastal, you'd have hurricane threats there as well.
Yep.
Okay.
And tornadoes do occur in those.
I was like, hurricanes and tornadoes I remember with Alabama, but I don't remember derecho. Sounds Spanish.
It probably is.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derecho.
Which would also be a lot of the topography of Mexico that would be prime ground for one.
Excellent.
Yeah, look at that.
Well, hey, look at that. It's been an hour.
I like it.
Wow.
I say we keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have stuff to do.
But so coming up next week, though, we've got some cool stuff. We do have a
special Memorial Day episode.
Well, yeah,
Memorial Day weekend episode.
Memorial Day weekend episode, and then we've got a.
It's not about barbecues, people.
No, it's actually going to be about protesting because we got a new Miss Matters video to pop out.
Yay! Our favorite friend.
It was between the Karen video and the other
Karen
video this week, so I figured, since this is the first week of the trial, I'd
this is
do
good.
the Karen Reed video, and then next week we'll have Miss Matters, and she can tell us all about
protesting.
all about protesting. So, yeah. And
Well, all
then maybe
right.
we'll have an update on our actual show that's slowly coming together.
Slowly but surely.
Exactly. So,
Well,
all right.
Stay safe and stay awesome.
And shop at Rethink Home.
Shop at
Yes,
Rethink
shop
Home.
at Rethink Home. Come to Rethink Home.
Rethink Home.
That'll be your new
Check
battle
it out.
cry.
Come
Shop at
online.
Rethink Home.
Send us an email. We'll send you something.
Just give us money.
Give us money and we send you stuff. That's the way it works.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Goodbye, folks.